Good day everybody, I'm LionHeartBlue and welcome to another episode of my Scrap Mechanic Survival series. Today we're going to continue with our lesson type episode thing. As I'm trying to understand logic gates, etc., I figured that I might do an episode on them, but only in their basic form. I don't know anything too complex with them, so let's start with the first gate here. I welcome anybody who knows more about this to comment down below with anything I say or do wrong or could do better, etc. As I really am using this as a learning exercise for myself. So I've set up a couple of switches, a light along all along this way with the different logic gates. I've put one logic gate down here. If we have a look at it, you can see there's different logic actions that can be performed by this gate. This one is set up as an AND gate. That's why I've put an A here. So what that means is I've connected up two switches. These two switches are both connected to here, and then this logic gate is connected to the light. So I think this one's quite self-explanatory, and if this if this switch and this switch are on, then this light should turn on. So you see that, and obviously this comes on to show that its logic is true. You turn one of them off, the light goes off. Yeah, that's quite straightforward. So that's an AND gate. We move on to O for OR gate. Same setup, except this time it's expecting this switch or this switch to be on. It doesn't matter if they're both on, it's just one or the other or both. So this or this have to be on for the light to come on. You can see. So it's off unless any switch is on. And that's the OR gate. The next one is the exclusive OR gate. I believe that's what the X is for, exclusive OR, which means that it has to be one or the other, not both. You see the difference? So this can be, they both can be on, because it's just saying this light if this or this are on, and that's true. This or this is on, this or this is on, and that lights that up. Here we're saying this or this exclusively, but not both. So it doesn't matter which one's on, as long as only one of them switches is on, that light comes on. Now I'll demonstrate one use of this system later, but this is one thing I used on my farm before. So I had two switches, one either side of a door. So you press this one for the door to open, and then you go inside, you press that one when you're inside for the door to close, and then when you want to come out again, you press this one again for the door to open, and this one again for the door to close. And you can see the light coming on, representing the door opening and closing. So this one, now we move on to these NAND gates. So this, I believe the N stands for not. So whereas the first AND was this and this to turn the light on, it's essentially the opposite. So it's not this and this. So as you can see, they're off, so the light's on. If they're both on, the light's off. So it's basically the opposite of a standard AND gate. So you could think of this as being, I've done it red because I couldn't draw, I couldn't do the not and, so I thought red as in not allowed, you know, not and. So they're both on. So the light is on unless they're both on, and then the light's off. Now moving on to this one, we've got a NOR. So the light's already on again, like this one was. The light's already on. Again, it's not this or this. So this is true if not this or this. So I turn one of them on, that light goes off. This then becomes false because 1 is on. Yeah. So again, it's the opposite of OR. It works exactly the same way, except the light is on. It's the reverse of the switches. And then we have our exclusive not OR. So then this is the individually. So each switch works independently, exclusively. And it's the opposite of the XOR here. So 1 switch on, the light goes on. Here, 1 switch on, the light goes off. Yeah. So it's the opposite. So that's basically each separate logic gate, and I think individually they kind of make sense. They can be coupled or chained together to do much more exciting things. 2 of which I will demonstrate to you because I don't know any more than that. This is what I understand to be known as a repeater. So we have an AND gate, a NOR gate, so 2 AND gates and a NOR, and they are connected together in a triangle, just like this. And then when one of this AND here that I'm pointing at, when I can get my fingers correct and press the right buttons, so this AND is taking an input from this switch, this AND gate. So it's saying when this is on and this switch is on, then this comes on. And this AND gate here is connected to the light, so that will turn the light on. However, this will be it will be false if this is on, because it's a not OR, so not OR. So it would be, if it is, so that is true at the moment because this is off, this is false. If we look back, not OR. You see, so if they're on, the light goes out. So that when they're off, this is true, which is the same as this. That's off. So if this one turns on, that one goes off, which will mean that this one here is an AND, so it would only be true if this is on and this is on. And what that means is that this will then start to flicker, and it will basically keep repeating that sequence over and over again, like this, and we get a nice flashy light. So this is obviously ideal for like discos, like that. Or there are much more practical reasons for it. So a more practical use of this would be mainly for like mountable guns, which I've just thrown one in the corner here, and I've attached that to this logic gate here. And obviously when I turn this on, it will constantly fire or repeat the firing action of that gun, like this. Yeah. So that's a use of that repeater. There are many uses for it, and there's many different ways of doing it. This is just one I know. So that's the repeater. So another use of logic gates put together is this, which is known as a memory bit. It's a sequence of logic gates that remember a state. So if I show you, we have 2 NORs at the top and an OR at the bottom. Again, they're all connected in a triangle shape. The difference being now is that I've got 2 buttons, and if I was to press the green button, it will turn the light on, and you'll notice that these 2 now light up, and it's remembered that state, that click of this button. It's now remembering that state basically. This is known as the off, or rather I guess its proper term is a reset button. So you click that and it resets back to its original state. What you can do with something like this is you might want to, on the click of that button, this light comes on. You might want it to notify a timer. The timer could be set to like this, let's say 2 seconds, and after 2 seconds we want it to reset automatically. So we press that now, the timer goes, 2 seconds later it resets and turns that light off. I think it's a very, very good. So, I mean, again, there's more ways of doing it, there's different ways of doing it. I believe that this, without this reset button, I think sometimes this can go a bit mad and it'll start just flickering, and you need the reset button to reset it. So you can use this system to perform actions other than these switches, but without this switch you might run into some issues, I believe. And I have actually experienced that myself, but I don't know if it's going to happen now in this tutorial, so, or demonstration rather than tutorial. I don't feel like I'm teaching you anything, but here we go. So let's have a practical use of this here. As I mentioned, I had it on my farm previously on my farm, so it was my farm was covered, and I press a button to walk in, press a button to close, and reverse that action. So for example, let's say we wanted to use the toilet, press the button to open the door, we go inside. You obviously want to close the door because you don't want people to see what you're getting up to. So you know, you finish your business and then you can open the door from the inside, and that all runs off this one exclusive OR gate. That controller is there just to open the door, so it turns that bearing, nothing more. So it's this exclusive OR that controls these two switches, so they're both connected to that, and it's saying run the action on the controller when one of these switches is on. So if I turn that, it closes, or I can open it from here. So that's that one. So using now the memory bit, you might want the door to automatically close behind you. This is useful in like defenses if you're running away from bots. There's a raid coming or whatever, and you want to run into your base. So you press the door, press the button, it opens the door. You want it to close immediately behind you, or fairly quickly behind you, so that no bots can follow you in. That might be one use. Again, we're going to use the men's toilet this time as a demonstration, and I think you'll find this as a little bit dirtier than the women's, but that's normal. So you press that to open the door. We go inside. You can see the timer's gone, and the door automatically closes behind us. So I don't think I'll be using that. So this is the memory bit here. So now we can press this to reset it, and the door opens. But that will kick the timer off again, and then the timer will automatically close the door. So there is a delay. So if I click that 5 seconds has to go, and then there's another 5 seconds before I can press this button again. You see that? And now, because I've pressed it a lot of times, I've now caused this to go a bit crazy, and this has queued up like loads of all those clicks, all the times I clicked it. It's registered 5 second clicks on here, which is setting this or resetting this, but that's setting it again, and it's just got stuck in this horrible loop. So you need this reset button, which puts it back to normal. It will then clear everything. So this was the same as the red button I showed you just now on that other section, and now it should have worked normally again. And all something to do with clicking that button, and that timer has to go 5 seconds, and it has to undo for 5 seconds, if that makes sense. So you can see there's the 5 seconds counting. I can't get in. and now it's going to take 5 seconds for that to clear, and any clicks that are done in that time will start that again, and it just causes a bit of an issue. Now there are ways, I think, by adding a 4th memory bit, I think you can add an and to this, which kind of eliminates this problem, but I haven't quite worked out how to do it yet. So that's that. I'm going to get out of this stinky toilet. Apologies for that. You'll see that because of that delay I can't close the door straight away, but it will obviously close itself, but I can't force it to close any sooner than that timer. So I then will need to work out how I can use those systems, or if I can use those systems. I'm pretty sure I can, but it might be like a multiple of memory bits here to perform the actions that I was mentioning a couple of episodes ago, I think, about how I want this to operate. When it shoots, that goes down there, comes back, shoots again. So I'll be working on that, and I'll explain when I get it working. I'll explain what I did, if I can, because it might be trial and error, and I bet I'll end up doing it and not know how I did it, but I'll do my best. So that's it for now. A little short one, a little tutorial, demonstration, whatever you want to call it. So if you've got any comments or any suggestions on how I can do this, if I've misunderstood anything, whatever, please leave a comment, let me know. I'd be interested to hear from you. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Give us a thumbs up, and if you haven't already, please subscribe and make sure you hit that bell so you get notified of the future episodes when they are released. And I will see you again in the next episode, which will be redoing this entire farm. So I'll be taking this down and rebuilding it, so we get back to an actual episode and no more of this training nonsense. Hey! Cheers. Take care.